Hello there. Sorry, I couldn't help it. Whenever I get something like this that resembles a lightsaber, I have to play with it as if it's a lightsaber. And this is the Nanlite Pavotube 15C. Let's turn on the light so you can appreciate it better. And honestly, the first thing that attracted me to it was that it looks just like that, a lightsaber, an elegant weapon for a more civilized age. But I consider this to be the best investment I've made in 2020, considering I bought it in December of last year. It has revolutionized the way I light my scenes considerably. You can even change, by the way, the color, so you can go Rey, you can go Mace Windu, or you can even go Lord Vader. So let me tell you more about it in this video. For the past few videos, I've been going on and raving about these Pavotubes. These Nanlite Pavotubes like this one. This is the Pavotube 26C. We are also using Nanlite Pavotubes like here. This is cyan, orange, and light yellow. So if you want to see how they look without the key light, there you go. And for good reason. These are great lighting tools that exponentially expand the creative possibilities of your setup. I mean, having just one or two already adds a lot of dimension, depth, light, and color to all of your scenes. So please like, subscribe, and crush that notification bell, and let's light up this episode. Like so. Pavotubes are incredibly versatile, portable, and robust lighting fixtures that feature 0 to 100% dimming, has a maximum output of 2,850 lumens, CRI of 98, TLCI of 95, adjustable color temperature from 6500 to 2700 Kelvin, full spectrum RGB, and pre-programmed special lighting effects. They come in 3 lengths, 4 foot, 2 foot, and 10 inches, and in single, double, or 4 light kits. In this video, we take a look at the 15C, so I have 2 of these, and the 26C. So I bought my whole setup from MQ Lighting last year in December as a sort of Christmas gift / investment for this channel. The 15C comes in this convenient soft carry bag, and if you open it up, you will see that it's a very efficient way to carry the tube. So you have 3 compartments. At the top you have 15C, in the middle are the accessories, and at the bottom you can have another tube. As for the accessories, it comes with a power brick, this clamp, and more on this later, and these loops. So they go at the ends of the tube. So you can either use it to safely secure your tubes or as another way to mount it. For the 26C, on the other hand, it comes with magnets. So parts of the 26C are magnetized so you can mount it on C-stands and select light stands. But for surfaces where you can't do this, you can stick this to the surface, let's say wood, and voila. You can also mount this on textiles, so through curtains. This is on one side of the curtain and the Pavotube is on the other. It also has this soft carry pouch and a wrist strap that goes on either mounting points of the 26C. It also comes with a USB-C cable for charging. The key feature of these lights are the lighting modes and built-in special effects. So if you roll this 15C over, you will see a cheat sheet that has all these modes and special effects. Highlights of which are CCT, where you can go from 2700 to 6500 Kelvin, HSI or RGB spectrum, and special effects. You can control the light using these 2 dials on the 15C. So you can switch and then adjust. For the 26C, it's with these buttons. All have this built-in diffusion for that soft, pleasing lighting. One of my initial concerns with these Pavotubes was the build and the fragility, but you'll be surprised, these things are built like a tank. They can take a few beatings and some drops. In fact, the 26C, the demo unit that I borrowed at first, fell from a C-stand, a talent hit it, and it didn't break. It was actually one of these pieces right here that broke, and you could have instantly repaired it or replaced it. And even so, the whole light was functioning 100%. They're not weather resistant or weatherproof, but I'd like to think they are, or it gives me the impression that they are, especially since the light switch of the 15C has a plastic protector. The 15C runs for 2 hours at 100% and 3 to 4 hours at 50%, and that is impressive. The 26C, on the other hand, is no pushover either. It runs for 65 minutes at 100%. So these tubes are great for that type of shooting, on-location shooting, where there are no plugs available. So for me, that would be on a boat, in the forest, in a coastal community where there's no power. But of course, if you have a lithium-ion battery, let's say an FX line, you can use them for continuous power, or if there's a plug, just use the power brick because you can use them as they're plugged in. At the heart of the mounting accessories is this bracket. So it's very straightforward. You just open it, put in a Pavotube, latch, and then lock. Then you have holes for mounting screws right here at the back. You can adjust the position, right or left, or you can rotate the Pavotube to get your desired tilt. And this bracket works for the 26C, the 15C, and the 30C, so across the board. There are also other variants, such as this, a bracket on the ball head with a cold shoe connector here, so if you want to put it on top of the camera. And there's another one with this rod for when you want to use it on C-stands. Another one for light stands would be this double clamp. It can be positioned horizontally or vertically. This is more suited for the longer Pavotubes, let's say the 15C or the 30C, like so. And then for modifiers, you have barn doors and egg crates. So this is made from fabric material. This is my other 15C that I use for hair or rim light. There you go. There's also one for the 26C, but I don't have one right now. And there are others for power. For example, there is a Y splitter, so you can power 2 tubes with just one power brick. There are a lot of accessories from Nanlite, and you can check out the catalog on their website, and the link is in the description below. As I've said earlier, these Pavotubes have changed the game in terms of lighting setups, especially because they're portable, and they have a lot of uses. I'll go through them right now. So first would be as the main or key light, you can use one of the 15Cs or 30Cs. But Nanlite has a 2 and 4 tube holder, essentially turning 4 of these into a kinoflow. You can also use them for fill, which is what I use them mainly for. So to bring out the detail in the shadows, I would position, let's say, one where I need it the most. And I also use them for rim, hair, or kicker light. So I normally have one up in the shelves pointing down. It's this one actually. So for hair light, I will demonstrate all of these to you later. Another would be as practicals. You can include them as part of your set, whether it's part of your backdrop. And lastly, as motivated lighting. So let's say your scene calls for a cop car. So just select one of the special effects, and there you have it. For my studio setup, I use them for fill and hair lights. So as you can see right now, there is a 15C right under the camera in front of me to fill in all those shadows. And it also helps me when I hold up things in front of the camera, like so. It's still well lit. The hair light with the barn doors and egg crates adds this edge lighting around me to separate me from the background. To illustrate, here is how my setup looks with both lights turned off. Now with the fill turned on, and finally with the hair light turned on. I also use them for product shots, whether it's photo or video, mainly as accent or edge lighting. I also use the 26C as a webcam light. So I put it on the ball head and a mini light stand, and I put it right behind my laptop. So it works perfectly. Before I give my verdict, I just want to express my appreciation for Nanlite's R&D. Nanlite has been coming out with great products such as the Pavotubes and the Forza line. So if you want to get any of these items and you're in Manila, then head on over to MQ Lighting in Makati. If you're outside, then tap any of their online and brick-and-mortar retailers. If you're outside the Philippines, then you can check out any of the Amazon affiliate links in my description below. First, the strengths. I appreciate these Pavotubes for what they are, what they're used for, and their key features, which are the lighting modes and the built-in special effects. But actually, even more so that it remembers the last setting that you used when you turn it off and then turn it on again, and even when you switch modes. So this is very helpful if you're very precise with your lighting settings that you want to use over and over again. Before, I had a Pilotfly Atom Cube RX1. It was a square light and not a tube light, but it's the same. It's the same purpose, but it doesn't remember my last setting. So it was a pain to use because I had to keep on adjusting and finding the setting each time I had to use it. Another is that these lights are very, very bright. So you can use them not just for fill or for hair light, but also for key lights. And then they're very durable. So they can take a beating and a few drops. Plus, it's those small things like that plastic cover on top of that light switch. I really, really like that because it adds that extra protection that you didn't think that you would need. For the 26C, I like how there are magnets, they're magnetized, and also the fact that it has tint control elevates it on a really professional level. Another would be the versatility. You can bring them anywhere. That's actually why I chose the 15C over the 30C because it's easier to hand carry when I get on the plane. But you can mount them anywhere, bring them anywhere, and you can have different configurations or positions. As for areas of improvement, my biggest ask would be app control. I know one's being developed, but as of this filming, there is no app available for that. So imagine the convenience of being able to change the settings of each of your Pavotubes on set from the palm of your hand rather than having to stand up and change each one. Now, my biggest gripe on the 15C would be that the battery level indicator is not immediately visible. I have to go through a menu system to see just how much battery life is left, unlike the 26C where you can see it off the bat. Speaking of the 26C, this also takes a while to boot up, and I find that the buttons are a bit more challenging to use when it comes to finding the settings that you like. I find that the knobs are better suited for this product, but I do know and acknowledge that it's a trade-off to get to the size that they wanted. So these are pretty cool, right? How about you guys? What do you think of the Pavotubes? Can you think of creative uses for them? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think and what you can come up with for these Pavotubes. Also, I'm considering reviewing the Nanlite Forzas next, but I don't know. If you guys have any suggestions for gear for review, put it in the comments as well. If you want to see more of my work, head on over to Instagram, Noel Guevara Photo. Cheers guys, and I'll see you in the next video.